Let's talk about crashing and burning. I named this crashing and burning because after trauma, after betrayal, certainly after betrayal trauma, we can experience crash and burn days, weeks, months, sometimes years after the incident. And basically it's when you're doing the dishes, when you're driving, when you're taking a shower, and out of nowhere, that emotional flooding, that trigger, that sledgehammer to your gut comes and literally brings you to your knees and brings you right back to that traumatic instant. And if you have childhood trauma, this could bring you back to when you're 4, 6, 8. So you have the tools, the wherewithal, the resources of a 4-year-old, an 8-year-old, a 10-year-old. This is where your brain is hijacked and you're brought back to the moment. This is where Amy is screaming in your ear, and Amy is your amygdala, which is in control of all your emotions. This is where your fight or flight kicks in, your nervous system, and it's either do or die. And this is where you either freeze or flight. We start going into numb, distract, avoid. Let me turn on some music. Let me scream, shout. Let me drink. Let me do drugs. That's the crash and burn. And I say crash and burn because the crash is like any other crash. It comes out of nowhere. It's like a car crash. Out of nowhere, you were hit. Your knees were weak. You were brought to your knees. And the burn is that sledgehammer to your gut. That burning sensation where you would give anything to turn back time so that this circumstance, this situation, this incident didn't happen. You make promises to God, or you beg God, please make this all this nightmare a dream. Unfortunately, you can't turn back time. And you're probably looking at me saying, okay, I get it. I've crashed and burned. I've emotionally flooded. I'm triggered. What do I do now? I'm going to tell you something. There's no way around this. There's no way under it. There's no way on top of it. The issues are in the tissues, and you got to walk through it. You got to feel it to heal it. There's no numbing. There's no distracting. There's no filling it with other garbage. There's facing it head on. And a couple of things that I tell people, number one, is understand that there's no tiger, there's no hungry wild tiger sitting next to you, looking at you, growling, ready to devour you. You gotta get your amygdala in check. You gotta tell yourself, I'm safe, this happened in the past, I'm gonna get through this. You gotta empower yourself. You gotta say, I understand that I'm getting a trigger. Triggers are here to tell me something, but they are not here to threaten me. Empower yourself by giving you choices. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna go for a walk. I'm gonna get some fresh air. Right now, I'm gonna splash myself in the face with some cold air. You gotta give yourself choices. Choices were robbed from you with trauma. I don't care what kind of trauma it was, whether it was trauma when you're a child or trauma that happened 2 days ago. Your choices were robbed from you. You gotta give yourself the gift of choice, and that was robbed from you. Accept what happened, but empower yourself, because there's no better way to move forward than to give yourself what was robbed, which is empowerment. Give yourself the strength, and you do have the strength to get through this. Know that you will get through this. It takes time, but better days are ahead. Better days are ahead.